Tea and scones. Oh my god. Fuck. Hello, and another scene in Darkness in Dublin, where it's fucking late. I just got back from work, and we're gonna fucking do this shit because somebody was like, "I need to talk to the Duke." So I was like, "Okay." Actually, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of like more like I'm gonna just press the button. I was like, "Oh fuck." Um,
Professionalism. It's something that the ST staff of Dublin pride ourselves on.
what the fuck do we need to be professional for? We play it like dude, I threw a fucking first change werewolf at my players. There's nothing fucking professional about. I say like fucking shit and shit all the time. Like what the fuck? I'm not at work. This ain't work. This is play. We're all
In in,
adults
in,
here.
in my defense, that wasn't a red cap who should either learn better or die smart or die quicker.
I mean, he did just try to like beat up this poor dude who was just trying to get his fuck on in the bathroom. But anyway, so what's his face? Dude, bro, named after a castle was all like, so I'm gonna head up to the Duke's palace and be like, "Hello, Duke." So you get a receptionist. And by receptionist, I mean there's this poor corgi Puka who is doing his best, and he's just kind of there. He's very hyperactive because I mean corgis though they're just kind of like. So he's standing up. He's kind of bouncing up and down. His little ears are just kind of floof 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 floof. As he's kind of like rearranging all this paperwork. He doesn't seem to really notice you because he's focused on just moving this paperwork all around and hopping from foot to foot. It's kind of comical.
Tin Tintagel will walk in with two two of his troll attendants who are both, but they're all dressed in the glorious golden armor of House Dougal, and they have the with crimson cloaks hung over the shoulders. He'll kind of look to the eldest one, whose name is Aja, and he'll just kind of gives a shrug, like, I mean, should we wait? Is there a bell?
There is, in fact, a bell.
He will very calmly walk. No, he will kind of ask Aja, "Would you mind, please?"
She nods, walks forward, and this bell is not very large, and this troll is very large, so she just kind of takes her pinky and taps the top of the bell, singing out, a shrill little ding. Fucking hell, those bells are loud. We have one at work. And the dude, the little corgi, he'll just kind of perk up, and his ears will go, straight to attention. And he'll just kind of look at you guys, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you. Hey, how may I help you?
Actually, no, good evening. Good evening, Squire.
Good evening. And he'll just do a bow. His little ears will floop.
I am here to see His Grace Duke Maldra.
Uh, uh, of course, your excellency. I'll go see if he has some time to speak with you. Yes. Give me just one moment. I'm so sorry, your excellency. And he just kind of runs off with his tail just kind of whoosh 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 whoosh.
Ashran, or not Ashran, Tintagel will walk to the desk and he'll remove something from a belt pouch and he will place it on the desk and he will wind it up. It's a little small, how to describe it? It's not quite a toy, but it's a little marching soldier that'll march back and forth across the desk, just a small little wind up toy. And he's going to leave it because his theory is that when the corgi returns, it will have him fascinated until such time as Tintagel returns, and he wants to see if his theory is correct.
Son of a bitch.
I'm giving him something to pay attention to just to see if he will.
You leave my poor little corgi puka alone.
If it helps, if it helps, I intend to give it to him as a present because he's been a very good boy.
Side eye.
Why, Kim? Why are you giving me the side eye for being a nice guy?
You always doing something shifty. Don't even try.
But he will then wait. He'll probably look out a window or some such.
Yep, there's a window there. Also a small little waiting room. Not really a waiting room. There's like two very comfortable looking ass chairs. And then, this window that leads out into a very lovely looking garden. Um, a couple minutes later, you'll hear the pitter patter of feet as the puka returns, and he just kind of he looks over to the desk. He sees the toy. His tail starts wagging, and then he's just kind of like, "No, got a job to do. Got to finish the job first." And so he looks over to the count, and he bows again, and he's just kind of like, "Uh, your Excellency, um, Duke Maldrith is willing to. He has the time to speak with you. Yes, yes. If
Very
you
calmly, Tintagel will walk up. He will put his hands on the squire's shoulders, unless the squire will attempt to stop him.
no, the squire looks so scared now. He's just kind of like, oh no.
With that, once again, because Tintagel never puts emotion into his voice, he will say, "Take a deep breath in and take an exhale. It's all right. You will find that with my she brethren, it is more disconcerting for them when you fall over your words. So even if they have to wait for you to say something, they will be happier than if you trip over them half a dozen times."
Uh, um, I can't help it sometimes. I'm sorry. Your Excellency.
He will release the squire. He will turn to the trolls and say, "You two will await me here. I should not be long."
The squire, was all hype, kind of uppity, and now he's just kind of like shrunk like 3 sizes. He's just kind of you. Not actually, because he didn't use his metamorphosis, but it's just kind of like, that big person when they just kind of get deflated a little bit, and they're just kind of like, oh no.
Ashran will nod and follow him, knowing that when he returns and sees the little marching soldier, he will immediately be happy again.
This ain't fucking Ashrid.
I'm aware of this fact. I will eventually stop doing that.
Ashrid's currently on a dinner date with this Nevertall right now.
I need an adult.
Because his mom was like, so, there's this bitch. You're gonna meet this bitch because I want grandchildren.
Would she love the grandchildren or just possess the grandchildren?
She would possess the grandchildren. She has heard rumors of these grandchildren things that she have, and she wants one.
It's an accessory. What, like a Gucci bag? Exactly.
Yes. Um, so he'll try to be, as straight and walk forward as he possibly can, but he's just so hyperactive. But it's now kind of like that very sad kind of hyper, like his tail is slightly twitching, and he's just he doesn't have as much of a step, or a spring to a step as he did before. But he'll lead you to the Duke's office, just kind of lead you through the antechamber and then into the actual office. Well, of course,
By the way,
he'll knock first.
didn't you describe this building at one point as being as if it was decorated by two people who really hated each other?
Yeah, two knockers that just could not decide on what they wanted to do. Basically, on some hallways and some portions of the design, it looks like a castle. Like, you're just your average ass castle. There are, chandeliers with actual burning candles. There are, the wooden doors, um the stone blocks, etc., etc. And then when you turn another corner, you get red carpet, and it looks like the hallway of a hotel. With the little weird kind of half circle kind of sconces and shit, and like the weird, fake wooden doors and everything like that. And it just looks so mismatched.
Tintagel will make a mental note. If he lived here, he'd have to kill himself.
If you what?
If he lived here, he'd have to kill himself. Or kill the knockers. Or both. Or all of the above.
The Duke thinks it gives his castle some character. He's odd. He doesn't really care.
As an architect by trade, this would like destroy Ashran's soul, or sorry, destroy Tentagel's soul.
Like, okay, no, the craftsmanship is fine. The architecture is good. It just doesn't work together. Like, if it was
Okay.
just one or the other, it would be fine. But instead, it's literally just like some sections are completely different than the other.
So yes,
So,
he will be led to the Duke's office.
yep, I'm gonna do, or the puka will walk in and bow again and say, "Your Excellency, this is the Count. Or Your Grace, this is the Count. Uh, I forgot to get his name. I'm sorry."
Allow me to do the formal introductions in that case, Duke Maldreth. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Tintagel Flickerflame Ap Duke.
The puka will very quietly and quickly make his way out. You'll hear, the pitter patter halfway through the antechamber, then he'll stop and realize that he once again forgot to shut the door. So he'll walk back and he'll shut the door, and then you just hear the pitter patter as he goes off again.
Your secretary is special.
Indeed. He is trying.
Kim, have you found your very own Perkins?
Maybe. Except the Duke treats this one very kindly and doesn't scream at him to get pants.
Well, no, let's be fair. In the event Duke did scream at him to get his pants, he'd probably end up bringing him like his cargo shorts or something like that when he has to go to battle.
I mean, that's why he has, others that, put the plate on him, because that shit's kind of difficult to do by yourself.
Ashran will walk forward and will offer the Duke his hand, anyway, as greeting, to shake his.
Not Ashran.
Whenever I do that, just replace it with Tintagel. I'm still in the other character's headset. My apologies. But Tintagel will walk forward and offer the Duke his hand.
The Duke will stand up and, well, he was already standing, but he will take the hand and give a soft smile. Just kind of say, "And how may I help you this evening?"
Well, as I have freshly arrived in your domain from other pastures, I said it would only be appropriate as I would come here, as I have no doubt you've already seen the fact that my castle is in situ above your changeling market.
Indeed. I have seen it there.
Was there a chair offered, by the way?
Yes.
Ah, okay. In that case, he will take the chair that was offered. He will say, I'm led to understand there have been some rather grisly tidings of late.
Indeed.
And unfortunately, I must bring new consternation to you.
Mm.
Yesterday evening, we were at a party being held by Baroness Azalea Bloodwater. Oh, I assume you may be familiar with her.
He flips through his notes and nods again.
Baroness Bloodwater, well, I shall tell you the story, as it were. Baroness Bloodwater invited us for a New Year's Eve soiree we deigned to attend. During that soiree, she was approached by another member of our kith, a man calling himself Captain Hook. Verbose, I know, but that is the name the gentleman donned and opted to use. Azalea Bloodwater then proceeded to, or rather, this Captain Hook then proceeded to accuse Baroness Bloodwater of theft of his property in the form of the chimerical ship known as the Jolly Roger. Baroness Bloodwater refuted his claim on the grounds of, in whatever punitive legal structure she believes to be just, apparently theft via mutiny, where one unseats the current captain by a force, is not theft. I'm not a legal scholar personally, however, I feel as though that is a erroneous and grossly misinterpreted sentiment. But I digress. It was determined that a duel would take place, a duel of honor, you understand, in order so that the ownership of the Jolly Roger would be identified via the Dreaming's decision and will. Whilst we were in the discussion of the particulars of this duel, it came to light that this Captain Hook is a Duke of the Realm, though he refused to give his house. Perhaps, Duke Meldrith, you might be able to enlighten me as to who this individual may in fact be.
Mm. He clearly thinks it over for a little bit. He thinks some more. And he looks through his notes, and he was taking notes the entire time before he finally nods his head and says, I've heard rumors of another duke that was here, one that roamed the seas. Duke James Hook ap Allele, oddly enough. If I'm correct, of course.
Indeed. However, during the negotiations as to the duel and its format, Baroness Bloodwater in cold blood attempted to murder the man after she had agreed to duel him, before the duel itself had commenced. This is a great and egregious breach of the right of life. She pulled a pistol and attempted to shoot him. Fortunately, the Duke's armor was able to turn the bullet aside. He will stop to kind of view the Duke's expression and whatever else as he says that.
The Duke. The Duke don't look too happy that he just heard that. He's just kind of got that. Like, on one half, it's just kind of. Actually, no, roll perk empathy.
Oh god, that thing that Dougal can't do.
Yep, that thing Dougal can't do.
Let me actually get a sheet so I don't fuck this up. He has perception. Does he have empathy? I don't think he does. He does not, in fact, have empathy. So he's a count, which means he's at a -2 from his dice pool to do this, which means I'm rolling it on straight perception, which means it's perception -2 dice. Well, this one's gonna get sad really quickly. Which means he has a mighty 2 dice to this dice pool.
Don't botch.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
Oh, 3 successes.
Okay. On one half, the Duke doesn't really look surprised that Bloodwater did this. You can kind of tell he's got a bad taste in his mouth for Bloodwater. And then on the other half, he does look surprised that this happened. It's just kind of like that. Like, what the fuck?
There is a nod, and he will say, "From your expression, Your Grace, you will forgive me for saying so, but is this Azalea Bloodwater known to you as being a negative influence in your duchy?"
She sold a commoner to a Severtall for a ride into town.
There is no visible change in the expression on. There's no visible change in the expression on Tintagel's face in the slightest as he says, "So this is her second breach of the escheat."
Inclines his head slightly.
I see. Needless to say, the captain, well, Captain Hook, as it were, or rather Duke Leal, opted to quit the field at that point and determined that in 5 days' time he would return for trial by fire or combat, whichever was deemed most appropriate. And as the highest ranking noble currently in attendance who was not involved in the dispute, I took custody of the aforementioned ship so that it would not fall into the hands of either personage. And so it is currently within my fortress above Changeling Market until such time as it is rightfully bestowed upon its rightful owner.
He inclines his head and says, "Oh, go to sleep, Biscuit. It's nighttime. Night night." He inclines his head slightly and says, "For the sake of ease, since this is another Duke that we are dealing with, I would ask that the ship be under my watch until such time as this is all figured out."
He'll contemplate and he will say, very well, would you care to send your own representatives to collect it, or would you like me to have it brought down?
I will send a couple of my knights to go and get it shortly.
Very good. I will have it sent to my own crews that they are to have it serviced and then sent down. I will not be accused of, he will contemplate. We are overseeing some minor structural issues, etc. I will not have it said that it entered into my home and I did not make sure that it was not in peak condition by the time it left.
He inclines his head.
However, I am deeply disconcerted, Your Grace, if you'll forgive my saying so, that this individual has openly now breached the Ashit twice. Not only that, but she is an ennobled commoner and does not seem to know her place. Once again, no emotion.
It is unfortunate. She is seeming to be abusing her title and attacking a member of higher status in the midst of figuring out the details of a formal duel is unpleasant.
Oh, of course, he's House Fiona. It's the House Honor McHonor McHonor McHonor.
If I remember correctly, Honor McHonor is Gwydion.
They're both, well, House Fiona's also about like bravery and being a warrior, and like a warrior would never strike in surprise because that's not how a warrior does it, you know?
Yep.
Actually,
Like,
no, you're right. Gwydion is Honor McHonor McHonor McHonor.
yeah, but Fiona's pretty much. Fiona's kinda. Slightly. Like, I mean, they're a Sealy house, so they like their honor as much as the next. But their big thing is just not being afraid.
And if you strike like a coward, you prove that you're afraid. Because only cowards strike from the shadows, or strike when somebody is prepared.
Mm.
But
yeah, then again, they do swear by like really hella complex codes of honor, and so yeah.
Tintagel will pent his fingers as he crosses his legs, and he'll say, frankly, the issue has now become more of a matter for you, Your Grace, as the arbiter of the Ashit within this duchy, as to if you believe that Baroness Bloodwater's attempted assassination of His Grace, Duke Leal, is more pressing than the matter of the ownership of the ship. Which, frankly, a treasure is nice, but the Ashit is sacred.
Indeed, it is. There are several that I must speak to now. It's
Myself and Baroness Karina Stormfury were of House. Is Sien? Isen? How do you pronounce it?
Eason.
Eason. Of House Eason were in attendance and are more than willing to give testimony as nobles, as well as a knocker by the name of Zeke Littlechild and a red cap by the name of Kincaid Dunsen, should you require commoner testimony.
Flips through his notes. Nods his head. If they become necessary. Thank you.
He will stand and he will say, "Indeed, I have merely done my duty. As you said, you will have your knight sent in order to secure the ship."
Indeed, I shall. Thank you.
Think nothing of it, your grace. He will offer an incline of his head before he will walk towards the door.
He will return like the little head nod. Just kind of. I'll take a moment, just kind of take a breath, and then pulls out a document. Pulls out a blank piece of parchment. Dips, his pen, because now he gets his fancy ass calligraphy pen out and begins writing a letter.
He will stop as he reaches the door and he will say, "Your grace, I have one other contemplation to make."
And this is Your Excellency.
He will say, "House Dougal maintains our oaths as stern and as steel as stern and as hardly as steel. Should you require the forges to be lit, and should you require the steel and resolve of House Dougal for anything that may lurk upon the horizon, House Dougal is ready and willing to answer any calls that may be made."
He inclines his head. I thank you for that. You might be interested in visiting Baron Octavius. He is of House Ducal as well.
Indeed. I am led to understand that his freehold is quite a bastion of craft. I shall have to do so.
It is indeed.
He will, once again, as he opens the door, he will say, "Good afternoon, Your Grace."
May you have a pleasant day, Your Excellency.
The door he will close behind him as he will walk back up the corridor that he came to, or that he walked down.
Yes. When you get back up, the trolls are just sitting there, doing their own little thing.
Reading a magazine.
The corgi. So you set it on the desk. So he's got his. Okay, when someone's peering over something, like peering over a wall and just kind of looking. He's doing that. Like he kind of crouched down and he's peering over the desk, and his tail is wagging, and he's just watching the toy.
He doesn't look at him and he'll say, "What is your name, Squire?"
He'll kind of jump up, just kind of like that. Oh shit, somebody's here. And he'll look and he'll say, I am, Squire Philip."
He'll point at the toy and he'll say, happy Yule time. Consider that your present, Squire Philip."
Blink, blink. Oh, uh, oh, thank you so much, Your Excellency. He bows. I do not have a gift to give you.
He'll
Unfortunately.
turn and look at him and he'll shrug and he'll say, "How would you phrase this?
There's only one thing I want in life, and it's my girl.
God damn it, Kim. I was going to say something meaningful and deep, but no.
You know it's true, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's hella true.
He will look down at him and he will say, "The only gift I would ask of you, Squire Philip, is simple. Serve with honor and serve with distinction."
He kind of has a bobblehead for a moment as he just kind of nod. Um, of course, your excellency.
Tintagel will kind of motion for the trolls, then come, we're going.
The trolls will stand up. They're just kind of like, okay.
Would you go so far as to say, "Okay, boss"?
Nope. You lost the okay, boss.
No!
It's gone.
Okay, with that, they will proceed to leave the freehold.
Y'all have fun. Don't do nothing too bad now, you hear?
You hear? Shall we stop the broadcast?
Sounds good.
All right. You want to do the outro?
Thank you. Shh, I got this. Hold up. Hold my beer. I actually don't drink it. It's actually kind of like low key disgusting. But anyway,
Hold my Baileys.
yes. Hold my Baileys. I don't think I have like less than a third of a bottle left. Actually,
I
no,
have
it's
a
like
bottle
less than
for
a
you.
quarter.
You've yet to give me your fucking postal address.
I keep forgetting. Thank you, player, for for doing the player thing at fucking like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was amazing. um, thank you, viewers, for viewing. If you're still listening to this, just kind of like, why though? This has been another scene in darkness in Dublin. Goodbye.